Manny Pacquiao.
Mario El Azteca.
Again, I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, touch them up, and God bless. Touch them up.
Barrios looking to establish the jab.
Not trying to give too much, leaving the
A minute. Barrios describing.
Manny Pacquiao is back in a big way! His first knockout!
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios. A fight nobody asked for, but now the entire boxing world can't stop talking about it. On July 19, 2025, Pacquiao will face WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, a venue where he's made magic before. But this time, the stakes are different. They're higher, and for some, a little uncomfortable. If he wins, Pacquiao won't just become a champion again, he'll make history as the oldest welterweight world champion in boxing, beating the record he already set at 40 years old when he defeated Keith Thurman in 2019. But not everyone is cheering. To some, this is the final epic chapter in a legendary career. To others, it's a dangerous illusion, a 46-year-old man risking his health and legacy against a fighter who's younger, sharper, and fully active. The comeback is already splitting the sport in two, and no one knows for sure how it's going to end. But one thing is clear, this isn't just another boxing match. This is boxing history, one way or another. Pacquiao last fought professionally in August 2021, when he was outpointed by Yordenis Ugas in a bout that many thought would be his last. After the fight, he announced his retirement and turned his focus to politics, eventually running for president of the Philippines. But retirement didn't last. In 2024, Pacquiao dipped his toes back into the fight game with a kickboxing bout against Rukia Anpo, and it didn't go well. He looked slow, his timing was off, and fans feared they were watching a hero stay too long. Still, when the WBC reinstated him in the welterweight rankings, eyebrows were raised across the sport. How does a man who hasn't fought professionally in 4 years get a title shot? Critics say it's politics, nostalgia, a move to sell pay-per-views. Promoter Frank Warren was especially blunt, calling the comeback a bad look for boxing. "It doesn't sit well with me. This isn't the sport doing this. It's the governing body," he said in a recent interview. Pacquiao's passed his sell-by date. He should be retired. Yet despite all the warnings, the date is locked. The posters are printed, and Manny's stepping back into the fire. Let's be clear. Mario Barrios isn't some washed-up veteran collecting a paycheck. He's a 30-year-old WBC world champion, still entering his prime, and this is no exhibition. With a professional record of 29 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, including 18 knockouts, Barrios brings a dangerous mix of volume punching, youth, and grit. He won the WBC interim title by defeating Yordenis Ugas in 2023, the same man who beat Pacquiao. Then, after Terence Crawford vacated the belt, Barrios was elevated to full champion in mid-2024. He's active, he's fought 5 times since Pacquiao retired, and he's hungry for a signature win, one that could define his career. Pacquiao is the legend, but Barrios is the one with everything to prove, and he's not underestimating the moment. Barrios trained under Virgil Hunter, one of boxing's most respected minds, and has sparred with Amir Khan, among others. His speed, youth, and power give him every physical advantage heading into this fight. Some fans think this is a legacy cash-in for Manny, but experts warn this could very well be the toughest, riskiest return fight Pacquiao could have chosen. The comeback has lit a fire under the boxing community, and the opinions are just as fiery. Amir Khan, who sparred over 300 rounds with Pacquiao, has also trained with Barrios. He says he respects Manny as a fighter and friend, but still thinks this return is a bad idea. "I wouldn't advise him to come back against someone active. If anything, he should fight another retired fighter, someone like me. But Barrios? That's dangerous," Khan told Sky Sports. Robert Garcia, one of the sport's top trainers, didn't mince words either. "Barrios is young. He's the champion. Pacquiao is 46. That's like me getting back in the ring. I can't do it. and I'm 49. Even Terence Crawford, who is preparing for a legacy-defining showdown with Canelo Alvarez, gave the fight a hesitant nod. "It's a 50-50 fight," he said. "Barrios is a great matchup for Manny, but at that age, anything can happen. And that's the point. Anything can happen." Which makes this both a high-stakes fight and a high-risk one. For the first time since 2018, Freddie Roach is back in Pacquiao's corner. Their reunion has fans wondering, can lightning strike twice? Roach trained Pacquiao through 34 fights over 16 years, guiding him to wins over legends like De La Hoya, Cotto, and Bradley. But their relationship soured after the loss to Jeff Horn, and Pacquiao eventually moved on to other trainers. Now, 7 years later, the duo is back together, older, maybe wiser, and facing an entirely new generation of boxing threats. Some see the reunion as a powerful emotional touchpoint, the rekindling of one of boxing's most iconic partnerships. Others see it as a nostalgic move that won't matter when the bell rings. Either way, Roach's return adds another layer to this already unpredictable story. If Pacquiao has any shot at pulling this off, it'll be with Freddie Roach in his corner, whispering strategies between rounds, just like old times. While Mario Barrios is the immediate obstacle, many believe he's not the final target. According to Pacquiao's longtime promoter, Sean Gibbons, there's a much bigger name waiting in the wings: Gervonta "Tank" Davis. In a recent interview, Gibbons didn't hold back. "When he beats Mario Barrios, line them up," he said confidently. Manny has wanted that fight for years. Gervonta kept making excuses about weight, but now the door is wide open. Pacquiao's team views the Barrios fight as a potential springboard, a way to reclaim a world title and put himself in position to finally secure the mega fight he's been chasing. The narrative? One last super fight, one last payday, one last mountain to climb. But the Davis situation isn't simple. Tank is entangled in his own drama, prepping for a controversial rematch against Lamont Roach Jr., a bout many fans demanded after the first fight ended in uproar. Simultaneously, Davis has been linked to a crossover fight with Jake Paul, with rumors swirling that the spectacle could happen before the end of the year. So, where does that leave Pacquiao? Some believe he's genuinely chasing legacy, looking to add one more iconic name to his record before bowing out. Others think he's positioning himself for high-profile paydays, leveraging nostalgia and fame while the spotlight still shines. Whatever the motive, one thing's clear. If Pacquiao defeats Barrios, the world will be watching who he calls out next. Behind the headlines and press conferences lies a deeper unease within the boxing world. Not everyone is celebrating Pacquiao's return, and some are openly questioning the ethics behind it. Veteran promoter Frank Warren has emerged as one of the fight's most vocal critics. In a scathing interview, he said, "It's not boxing doing this, it's the sanctioning bodies. He hasn't fought professionally in 4 years, and now he's walking straight into a world title shot? That's not how sport should work." For Warren and others, this isn't about competition, it's about commerce. They argue that the fight was made not because it's deserved, but because it will sell tickets, PPVs, and headlines. It's nostalgia-driven matchmaking, a business decision disguised as a boxing event. There's also concern for Pacquiao's well-being. At 46, after a brutal career spanning 3 decades, there are questions about what his body can still handle, especially against a younger, fresher opponent. Then there's the emotional factor. Many believe Pacquiao isn't returning because he has something left to prove, but because he misses the roar of the crowd, the energy of fight night, the adoration. Even former rival Amir Khan acknowledged it, saying, "I think Manny misses the love, the attention, the spotlight, but that doesn't mean it's the right reason to fight." And yet, tickets are selling, social media is buzzing, and millions will tune in. Whether critics like it or not, the market wants Pacquiao, and that's what's really driving the comeback. This isn't just another title fight, it's a collision of past and present, legacy and ambition, memory and reality. If Pacquiao wins, he becomes the oldest welterweight world champion in boxing history. Again, he already broke that record in 2019 by defeating Keith Thurman at age 40. Now, at 46, He could shatter his own achievement and cement a legacy that not even time can touch. That victory would also give him serious leverage. Money fights, rematches, global exhibitions, or even that long-teased showdown with Gervonta Davis all become possible. It would be a mic drop moment, the ultimate career punctuation. But if he loses, the risk is steep. A devastating defeat could tarnish the legend he spent decades building. The boxing world is littered with icons who hung on too long, and one punch from a younger champion could change everything. His health, his legacy, and his aura of invincibility all on the line. And that's what makes this fight so electric. It's not just about winning or losing. It's about what this fight represents. A win makes history. A loss ends it. So what are we really watching on July 19th? Is this a final act of greatness? The ultimate underdog returning to remind the world who he is? Or is it the beginning of a story that never should have been written? For every fan excited to see Pacquiao walk out one more time, gloves on, anthem playing, there's another hoping he walks away before it's too late. The boxing world is split. The experts are divided. Even his peers are unsure. But one thing is undeniable. Everyone will be watching. Because whether Manny Pacquiao pulls off the impossible or falls short under the bright lights of Vegas, this fight will be talked about for years to come. July 19th could be the night Pacquiao makes history or becomes history. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe to Boxing is Here for the latest updates, fight breakdowns, and expert analysis. And turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, peace out.